Having a custom rifle is great, but even more so, having a great place like this to come shoot. When you come out to Mill Creek, you've got targets all around you. We've got targets out to a mile. Wonderful accommodations here. And I'll tell you what, it's quite the experience and highly recommended you come out and find a place like Mill Creek and shoot your new rifle. Let me tell you, this is more than enough gun when you come out to southern Colorado. You're watching Modern Shooter.
You are going into the unknown. What's on the other side may know you're coming.
The popularity of long-range shooting has brought changes to calibers, perception, and of course the rifles required to reach out and touch targets previously unheard of. It also produced more places to shoot long distance, places that cater to this new brand of shooter. This is Mill Creek Shooting Resort in south central Colorado. It looks like a page from the Old West, and it is. But it's also one of the nation's premier shooting facilities.
Kind of get an experience that you can't anywhere else, along with some proper tutelage. The education that you get with the firearm is unbelievable out here. We're not BDU'd, we're not boot camped, we're not all tacked up. You can see how I dress. My instructor's the same way. We like to keep the group small so we can give the one-on-one that you don't get on anything else. It's not a money mill. We enjoy the instruction. We love to see the students get out of it what they need to get out of it, and they leave with a smile. I think it's a pretty great place. It's pretty unique.
Everything at Mill Creek starts with safety. After classroom work going over what shooters will see on the range, it's time to head out to the blue skies of south central Colorado. Annette Wachter is a multi-time national champion long-distance shooter and a member of the United States Rifle Team. Also well known as the 30 Cal Gal, she is at Mill Creek to relax, have some non-competition fun shooting, and maybe pass on a few pointers to new shooters.
What a special treat this is. I'm out here at the Mill Creek Shooting Ranch in Colorado, and coming off of a big competition season, this is really special for me to come here and just kick back and relax, and I can shoot and just have fun. There's no stress, it's not a real competition for me, so I'm loving this week. Out here with me today, I've got my H&H Precision, which is chambered as a 6.5 Creedmoor. And we have a Defiance action on here, the Arias chassis. Let me tell you, this thing shoots like a laser beam. It's a lot of fun and it'll do really well out here in the strong winds. This is a little bit easier of a stage that we have to present today. What's nice about it, it's one position. We're going to be in prone, so we don't have to do any strange props or shooting under, over, through things. So we're just going to be in prone, which makes it a lot nicer. And we have targets anywhere from about 200 yards out here, starting out to about 8.
Impact!
Carl Taylor knows a thing or two about long distance. A former Marine sniper, he now owns In-Motion Targets and may well be one of the finest long-distance shooting instructors around.
I'm on glass. We definitely have a left wind now. All right, I'm with you. Impact!
Will Ranke and Ben Stacy are gun guys. They've come to Mill Creek to feature the resort on their Instagram page, Guns Daily. They're also taking advantage of the instructors here to do something they've never done before.
I've never pushed past, previously 800 yards.
My background is not long-range shooting by any means. So to have the opportunity to shoot out to 1 mile, I honestly didn't think I could actually get it.
Before we get to that, let's work on the fundamentals, crawl, walk, run, and get after it. Okay. What I want you to do is get behind the rifle as square as you can. Just mount it like you're doing a push-up. Okay. There you go. Now you're squared up with the rifle. That's going to help you with recoil. Okay? I'm going to make an assumption that you know how to put a magazine into a rifle, and so go ahead and load it up. Now what I've already done is I've dialed this SIG ballistic turret onto the correct yardage for the first target. We're shooting at that white one. We got 2 targets out there, an orange and a white. The white one's our closer target, so we got a little bit of wind out there on that white target. I want you to favor the crosshairs just to the right side of it. Not to the right side completely, but maybe somewhere between middle and right side. I'm on scope. Impact. Nicely done.
All right, Ben, you ready for this?
I think so.
All right, we're gonna get you set up on the rifle here. On scope. Impact. Nice job.
It's nothing like that.
All right.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right, so what do you think?
So far, fantastic.
Yeah, so we got the short range stuff out of the way.
Got the easy part done.
So what do you think about getting that mile towards the end of the day if you're ready?
Really want that mile.
All right.
I'm ready to do that.
All
Good.
right.
Modern Shooter is brought to you by Aguila Ammunition. Feed your firearm. By H&H Precision Rifles. Engineering precision rifles and components for the world's most demanding shooters. 6 Hour Electro-Optics. See the difference. By Killer Innovations. Redefining the future of precision. By Securite. Intelligent firearm storage. And by Turnbull Restoration, specializing in the accurate restoration of historical metal finishes on period firearms. Be sure to check out Gun Digest online and on Facebook. Welcome to South Central Colorado. This is Mill Creek Shooting Resort, one of the finest shooting facilities in the country. Mill Creek is all about fun, but they specialize in big numbers. Big numbers in long distance, as in long distance
Impact.
precision shooting.
You have a civilian or have somebody that's never done it, and they've been intimidated by everybody else. We're not just trying to run people through here to make money. We really want you to benefit and do well with what you got. And if one student takes a little bit more to gather it, man, we're more than happy to lay right down there alongside of them and walk them through it until they do get it.
National champion Annette Wachter is at Mill Creek and has the opportunity to teach her game to a couple of new shooters. Annette and Carl Taylor of In Motion Targets work with the guys early. Now things get much more challenging.
Impact. So you can hit stationary targets all day, but after that first couple of rounds, things start moving when it's flesh. So don't you think you ought to be shooting moving targets? These target systems were developed so we can get better at shooting moving targets, because as we know, things are moving in the real world. And these are all modular systems. We build them in 10-foot sections of track, put any kind of target you want on there. They go back and forth 3 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour. We have stop and go features, erratic behavior, meaning they'll switch directions, go 1 mile an hour, jump to 9 miles an hour, and do all kinds of stuff. We use them a lot for long range, but you can use them on the short range too for an attacking and retreating target. They just have all kinds of options. They set up in 30 minutes out of the back of a Toyota pickup. Like I said, they're modular, one guy setup. It's just too easy. You know what? They're a lot of fun. Let's go shoot one.
The next shooting station is one you can only find in areas like South Central Colorado. In fact, the only thing harder than the target is getting to the location.
Come with us. So we were talking about shooting that mover earlier. And if you look right down there, it's approximately 500 yards. And we're going to learn how to shoot that in this video. What we want you to do is observe all the fundamentals of marksmanship, except for 2 we're going to kind of screw with a little bit. All right? Normally we'll tell you never to anticipate your shot. We're going to anticipate our shot.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing is, we don't ever want to jerk the trigger. Well, we're going to have a controlled jerk, because when that hits your lead, you want to anticipate when that round needs to be leaving the tube. So we need to make sure it is leaving the tube when you need it to leave the tube. Okay. That makes sense? Basically what we're doing here is nothing more than an NFL quarterback does with his receiver on a time pattern. We know where that round needs to be in the time of flight from us to the target. We're launching the round, and the receiver is going to be there to pick it up.
Okay, right behind.
The mover got to me. You know, I had to put a lot of rounds downrange, probably about 25 or so, before I finally got it. But that moment of impact is awesome, and I mean, it's addicting, and I can't wait to do it again.
Impact, nice job. Isn't that worth it?
Took me long enough, but that's awesome.
That's okay. Whether it takes 1 time or 10 times, it's just a matter of getting used to it and the little controlled jerk of the trigger.
Right. Yeah,
everything together.
I'm used to just, you know, waiting for it.
Yeah.
You know, rather than.
This sort of breaks the rules of your normal precision shooting.
When we were laying down prone for that moving target at 520 yards, I honestly did not think I was going to be able to hit a target on the move. But with some great guidance and knowing the proper position to where to place that optic and those reticles, I just felt good in what I was taught. And I pulled the trigger and I heard the ding.
I want the crosshairs in front of the target.
Yep.
Concentrate on the 1.5 when it hits center, rounds leaving the tube.
Send it. All right.
All right. Yep. Anywhere between them stakes, when you're ready, you take it down. Ta-da!
Impact! We got a first hit!
Good job, man.
Nice job.
Okay, so I just hit a moving target, 519 yards, first shot. That was awesome, brother. Thank you so much.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you so much.
You made it easy for me.
Good job.
Well, we hugged. What are you talking about?
That's worth a hug. That was awesome.
All right, now let's confirm it. Let's do it again.
All right, let's do it again.
Get on that bad boy. So what do you think? We kind of already threw him to the wolves on this 500 mover, first time ever shooting a mover. It's windy out already.
And they really want to reach that mile shot.
They want to get that mile, and I think we'll demotivate them with a lot of misses, especially the way it's fishtailing. And so
I think we should wait till the morning. It's going to be really calm because we saw this morning it was nice and light winds, and I think they'll be much better.
Let's get them that mile shot in the morning.
Yeah, we will.
So we'll see you in the morning.
You're watching Modern Shooter. Located in the foothills of the beautiful San Juan Mountains in southern Colorado is Mill Creek Shooting Resort. In addition to being one of the finest shooting facilities in the country, Mill Creek is a turn-back-the-clock destination, way back to the days of the Old West.
You know, Mill Creek's a pretty unique place. Been an instructor for quite a few years and had a lot of women and civilians and stuff. I've always asked why they never went and had any training, and they said they were intimidated by a lot of the instructors that were out there. And it always stuck in the back of my mind. We had a chance to put this property together with my partners. It was one of the things that we wanted to do, is make a facility that is not an intimidation, not a boot camp, but a place you can bring your spouse, your children, come out, enjoy it in a relaxed atmosphere. You come as a guest, you leave as a family member, and kind of get an experience that you can't anywhere else.
The resort has been restored to give the impression of the Old West, and maybe nobody knows more about the act of restoration than Doug Turnbull. Turnbull Restoration is world famous for bringing classic looks to guns, new and old.
It's bringing the old finishes back with it. So you take a modern gun and you can put the old finishes on it. And now you've got the new steel, high quality steel. They'll take the higher pressures, take the modern bullets, and actually use them in an old style look gun. And they're incredibly accurate. The outside might be really wore, but those people took care of them. The bores are either completely shot out or they're really, really good still and real shootable. And it was a tool. It was what they needed to survive with. You know, put food on the table, and it protected the front door. On the restoration side, you know, working with, in doing the restoration for the last 30 years, it's working with the dealers and the collectors, and they're telling you how things need to be polished and how the finishes need to look, in attention to detail to how it's supposed to look 100 or 125, 50 years ago. So you have a brand new modern gun, whether it's a 1886 or an 1892, the 73s. You put the old techniques on a modern gun, and now you have a brand new gun with the old look to it. So what do we have here is accumulation of various rifles that have been through our shop. The one on the bottom is my personal rifle. It's an original 1886 Action that we've converted over to a takedown. It's in the 475 Turnbull. It's been used. I've shot over 60 various animals. Then we go into the modern Winchester 92 and a model 1886. These are brand new guns that are current manufactured. And what we do is we go through and we do the color case hardening, change the wood color, and do the bluing, and take a modern gun and give it the look of the old guns. And then at the end we have it's a Browning 71 in 348, which we converted over to a 348 Turnbull, added the scout scope with a little converted Ruger base, and kind of taking the old and the new. And I used this on an elk hunt this last year, shot a 5x4 elk with it. We're going to take this gun up on the hill and really see how it shoots and performs. It's a great gun, great caliber, and it's going to be amazing to see how it does perform out to 500 yards and beyond. There we go! Impact, 520 yards. The Turnbull converted Model 71. You can still do it with these old guns. It's amazing what these will do.
You're watching Modern Shooter. Modern Shooter is brought to you by Aguila Ammunition, Feed Your Firearm, by H&H Precision Rifles, engineering precision rifles and components for the world's most demanding shooters. Sig Sauer Electro-Optics, see the difference. By Killer Innovations, redefining the future of precision. By Securite, intelligent firearm storage. And by Turnbull Restoration, specializing in the accurate restoration of historical metal finishes on period firearms. Long-distance precision shooting is quickly becoming the new in-game in the shooting industry. It also produced more places to shoot long distance, places that cater to this new brand of shooter. This is Mill Creek Shooting Resort in South Central Colorado.
And everybody shoots them all before they leave. They make their bucket list here. That's one of our guarantees. Everybody hits them all. And that's a pretty cool thing. And that's a pretty bold statement to make. So I'm pretty happy with my instructors and what we provide there.
What a gorgeous morning in South Central Colorado.
Yeah, I think we definitely made the right decision and waited to come out today and get on this. Conditions are good.
Yeah, and for anyone who likes to shoot long distance, the 1 mile shot is what we all live for.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
We're shooting a smaller caliber today, and what goes along with that is we've got a 20-minute of angle base rail on there. We're not really set up for longer distances out to a mile. We're set up for 1,000 and that kind of thing. But with holdovers, we max our scope out in the elevation, and we hold over with the mill scale reticle in there. Makes it easy. It's a little more challenging for the new shooter because he's not really used to holdovers and swagging it, as we call it. So it won't be a hard thing to do, just getting them in the right mindset. There it is. Impact.
Yeah! Thank you for walking me in there.
Yep, good job.
Ben Stacy and Will Ranke operate the Instagram page Guns Daily. Both are experienced shooters, but neither has shot past 800 yards. On day one, they each hit a moving target out to 500 yards. But today, their goal has changed.
Ta-da!
They want that mile.
All right, Ben, this is it. Get into position. I'm going to let you load up with a real light trigger, so be ready.
Being able to go shoot long range, I've never pushed past, previously 800 yards. Now it's been a mile, and that was probably one of the best experiences in the gun industry I've had so far. So, it was amazing.
It took me long enough, but I got it. Thank you so much. That is insane.
All right, Will, we're up.
Yep.
Just like yesterday, man. Let's get this done. What's going to be ultra important is, just like shooting, now you shoot pistols, right? Open sights?
Yep.
So the human eye can only focus on one thing at a time, okay? So we want to focus, like on that front sight, in this reticle, we want to put all our focus on the reticle. We think we can see clearly through this optic because it's an optic, but the human eye can only focus on one thing at a time, so I want you to focus on that reticle, crystal clear. The other thing that's really going to kill us here is if you get any scope shadow. And what I mean by that, as you're looking through the optic, there can be a crescent moon anywhere around that circle, and if wherever that crescent moon is, the round's going to hit opposite of it. So if you don't make sure you have a good, clean, crisp sight picture, we're going to be all over the place. Impact. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Unbelievable.
Good job, buddy.
Brother. Appreciate it.
You guys did well. We fed you to the wolves. Didn't give you a lot of time. You had minimal classroom time, but you got out here and did well.
Yep.
So congratulations.
Thank you. The best part is we pushed the mile.
I've had shooters that have shot for years that have never been able to get out to a mile saying, I never could believe I could ever achieve this. I think it's empowering. If more than anything, I think it's empowering. I think when people leave, I think their emotions and their feelings toward themselves, it puts them in a different perspective. I think they really, really believe a lot more in their abilities to do things.